Hey ladies, welcome to another episode of Queen Talk. As always, I'm super excited to come on here and converse with you ladies about the high vibrational frequencies that are happening here in this time, space, and energy. For my new ladies just tuning into the podcast, my name is Breye'l and I am a prosperity consciousness trainer, and I'm also a personal finance coach. And I am just elated to come on here and connect with you ladies about how it is that you can expand your wealth, value, and abundance. So let's jump right in. In this month of March that we are moving into, right? We are focusing in on stability. So that is what our next 4 podcast episodes would be about, is the stability series, right? What is it going to take for you to be in a space where you have that foundation that you need to build off of, right? To grow and expand rapidly, right? So for me, stability is super, super, super important. And it's going to be for you as well if you are striving to have financial freedom and move into that space of growing and expanding. So let's jump right in, right, to our affirmation of the podcast. Because, of course, as you ladies already know, we affirm new thoughts over our lives, right? We place ourselves in positions where we think new thoughts and we affirm new words so that way those words become programmed into our subconscious mind and they become the new thoughts that we think of. So on this episode, right, of this episode called Becoming Your Greatest Asset, our affirmation of the podcast episode is, I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and I choose the contents. Isn't that so amazing, right? To know that you're the architect of your life, right? The stability that you have to build for yourself to move forward in accomplishing your dreams, you build that stability. And on the Queen Talk podcast, we are here to expand your mindset to really think deep about what it is that you would need to cultivate to feel stable to move forward, right? I always find that many women, they dream of what it is that they desire, right? You have that thought, that business that you want to start, the book you want to write, the podcast you want to start, but you don't start, right? And a lot of that is because you don't have the stability or the foundation for you to feel comfortable to begin building. So I implore you this March, right, to get very clear on what stability you will need to move forward in 2022. Again, we are in a space, right, where your dreams are waiting for you to accomplish them, where the women and men that you want to work with, they are waiting for you to put yourself out there and offer them something, right? The marketplace has that spot ready for you to stand inside of to begin accomplishing your goals, right? All you need is the stability to move forward. So let's turn our books, right, to Proverbs chapter 24, verse 3 through 4. So if I'm going to provide it for you. So just tune in, even if you aren't flipping. But if you want to write this down, these words of wisdom are coming from the book of Proverbs in the Bible, chapter 24, verse 3 through 4, right? And this word reads, by wisdom, a house is built. Because if you really think about it, right, you just don't build a house randomly. You got to have the wisdom to build a house. So by wisdom, a house is built. And by understanding, it is established. To be established, right, means to have that structure, that knowing, that stability. We know that anything established means that it is right there. It is solid, right? So for the home that you're building, metaphorically, physically, emotionally, financially, right? It's by wisdom that the home is built, and it is through understanding that the home is established. What understanding do you need to have to start to build your home, right? Is it another skill? Is it a talent? Is it a mindset growth that you need to be in? Is it an understanding of the way and the steps and the processes that it's going to take for you to move forward? You need to have an understanding of your game plan in order for your home to be established, right? I know for a fact, my queen, you don't want to be in a space where you build a home and 6 months later the home is crumbling. It can be the same concept with your business. Maybe you're afraid to move forward and start that business out of fear that in 6 months it's gonna fumble, right? It only a fumble if you don't have the understanding. And I'm imploring you to start to get the understanding today so that your home can be established, right? The word continues to read, by knowledge, the rooms are filled with precious and pleasant riches, right? It's by knowledge. What knowledge do you have? Because that's how you fill the room, right? That's how you fill the rooms up, with the knowledge of whatever it is that you need to know. I think and I truly believe that I am speaking to the women, right, who are ready to branch out and speak in rooms of women, right? I think and I know that I'm speaking to the women who are ready to come out and verbalize the fact that they have a product that will change another woman's life mentally, emotionally, financially, right? This word is for the women who are ready to expand themselves and get out there and help and serve the people who they are called to serve, right? Because it's by the knowledge that the rooms are filled with the precious and pleasant riches. The people who you help, that's your real precious and pleasant riches, right? We all want money. We all want riches. We all want nice houses and cars. How do you plan to get that in this earthly realm, right? You have to have clients. You have to have someone who you're serving, right? You have to have a product, a service, a something that you have knowledge of to be able to sell that in the marketplace, right? So for you to really be able to have that home that you want the walls to be established and filled up with riches and everything of that nature, what stability, what values can you bring to the table so that you have that natural stability, right? So let's really get into some of the values that it could take for you to even begin to build that home, right? Because again, we're talking about a home within your mindset, right? A home within your finances, a home within you emotionally, because it takes all of that balance, right, to have true stability. When you think about a home, if we're talking physically, right, the value of the home is not just, it doesn't come in just the fact that it is a house on the street. The value of the home comes in the neighborhood. The value of the home comes in the upkeep of the lawn services, right? The value of the home comes in the upkeep and the cleanliness of the inside of the home, right? All of that begins with the person who owns the home and the values that they possess within themselves, right? And we can see how the value that you have within yourself is one going to determine whether or not you even have a home, right? Prosperity consciousness versus poverty consciousness, right? Are you a renter? Are you an owner? Right? Do you have real estate? If so, where is your real estate? What is it that you're doing with that real estate, right? So that's going to be the first thing that separates the personal values of a person, right? You versus them, you versus yourself. The next thing that'll separate the values, or that determines the values within that person, again, is where their mindset is. Your mindset determines where you buy the house at, where you build your house at, right? If you have gifts, skills, and talents, and you're ready to monetize in the marketplace, right? Because that's still equivalent to your house. Where are you purchasing your real estate, right? Are you selling to women who really don't even want your products? Or do you want to work with big ticket items, right? Do you want to sell your stuff for $4 or $5, or do you want to sell for big ticket items? I think back to 2019, where I started one of my first personal streams of income, which is my jewelry business, right? And I wanted to start selling my jewelry for only $14. And it was one of my other good girlfriends, Ebony, with B More Brown Creations, right? She is actually the woman who does the all of our print for Queen Hood hoodies and things of that nature, right? She poured into me that I would need to up my prices, right? So I think about me as an individual. I had no clarity or understanding, right, or wisdom of how I was building the home of my jewelry business. I was willing to go out there in the marketplace and sell for pennies. So inevitably, there was no way I was going to be able to have a mansion, an empire from my jewelry business, because my mindset, my personal values, I thought less of myself, right? I had those limiting beliefs of myself. So what we're really talking about on this podcast today in this stability series, right, is you recognizing that you're the architect of your life. And if you're the architect, what is it that you value? How are you building your home? What are personal values that you can tap into to begin to elevate yourself and truly have stability mentally, emotionally, and financially of what it is that you are calling towards yourself, right? Some of those values look like valuing longevity, right? Valuing longevity looks like having a true vision, not just, oh, well, I think I want to help people. How do you want to help people? Who do you want to help? In what way do you want to help them? What would it look like? How can you start that on an everyday basis to begin to help people? And when you truly ask yourself those questions, you tap in and recognize that you don't even need the money to get started. What you need is personal values like personal power and willpower and self-confidence and the desire to have change in an abundant life for yourself. What you really need is those values, and to take hold of those values and use those values within yourself as a queen, right? And when you elevate those values, you can then see yourself bigger. And when you see yourself bigger, you then have the capability to tap into the bigger goals, the bigger dreams, the ones where you're able to help and serve way more people than you originally thought. And then once you're able to truly serve those people, and you have the knowledge and the understanding and the wisdom that it takes to build your empire, right? You truly see that your rooms, metaphorically, right, physically, financially, they begin to be filled with precious and pleasant riches. My queen, I come into you today, right, at the beginning of March, in this stability series, right, to really ask yourself, what is it going to take for you to have stability? What does stability look like for you, right? Does stability mean having a savings account? Does stability mean having an emergency fund, right? Does stability mean having a game plan for how it is that you plan to take over 2022, right? Does stability mean connecting yourself with more positive people around you so that on those days where you don't have clarity of the vision, or you're not feeling, the highest version of yourself, that you have that sisterhood, that tribe, that community that you can call on to build yourself up? Because again, the stability and the true value is not always materialistic. And if you are listening to this podcast right now and you feel like you need money to start, I'm telling you, you don't need money to become the architect of your life. What you need is just the game plan and the values within yourself that you need to move forward. That's all you need, right? Because you are the architect, you're building this life. It's your creation to make. And to use your creation, or to start to be in your creation, the only thing you need is to Use your imagination, and imagination is free. When was the last time you had a dream? When was the last time you actually began to pursue a dream in a new mindset, in a new energy that no one is you? And that is your superpower, right? When was the last time you started using superpowers to manifest what it is that's in your heart? All you need is stability, Queen. All you need to know is that you build the foundation of your life. Doesn't matter what your mom said when you were growing up. It doesn't matter what your sibling says. It doesn't matter what your teacher said. It doesn't matter how people try to hold you back. It doesn't matter the obstacles that you faced in 2020 or 2021 or January or February of last month. None of that matters anymore. What matters is that you come into alignment right now in March and recognize you are the architect of your life. You build the foundation and you choose its contents. Alrighty, my queens. Thank you so much for tuning into this first episode of the Stability series called Becoming Your Greatest Asset. I really, really, really pray over you and I speak into your life that you are now in a space where you step into the realization that you are your greatest asset, that you are the architect of your life, and that you build the foundation and you are now moving forward, choosing the contents that you are deciding to put in your life. If this episode was amazing for you, right? If you got a couple of jewels and golden nuggets that you're going to begin to implement moving forward, I ask that you share the podcast episode, right? It helps you. It helps me. It helps us expand as women, because as we come together, right, we begin to build that mastermind alliance that we need to help each other grow. I also invite you, right, to head over to Instagram, right? Click the link inside my bio, Queenhood Finance on Instagram, right? Schedule a free abundance discovery call, right? In that abundance discovery call, we chat it up about gaining clarity on your vision and what it is that you want out of life, and how it is that I, Breye'l Banks, right, within Queenhood Finance, can help you grow, because that's what I've created this platform for, a space for you to know that you're greater, know that God is calling you, right, to take your life to the next level. So schedule that free abundance discovery call and let's get on the road to greatness in March. I'll also invite you to follow me on YouTube. On there, I chat all about my gardening and growing my personal financial freedom life. And again, I implore you to share this podcast episode with anyone else who you know will help. Thank you again, Queen, for tuning into the Queen Talk podcast, and I look forward to talking to you in the next episode. Toodles!